Hello everybody, this is part 3. We were getting close to finishing up the reverse list by pods. However, this will not do for test-driven development, and we could not test all the possible flavors of getting this particular head function, like getting all the heads of these items. So what we're going to do is to make sure that we can get all the heads, and let's separate this out into a separate function and make sure that it is possible. So let's get rid of that. That's not very useful. And let's go do this properly. So we're gonna call this function like get k head, and we're gonna take in a head node, and we're gonna get it a k as well, and we're gonna return a list of linked lists. Okay. And basically, we're going to reverse. We're going to send off a group of head nodes, and that is what we'll do. We'll get k head nodes. So get k heads. No, k sounds wrong because we're not trying to get k head nodes. We're trying to get let's say k pods. Get k pods. Yeah, I think get k pods. Hopefully that's not copyright infringement. I hope not. So set our array to equal to get k pods. So what we do here is that we need to make sure that this functions properly, and I believe that one thing this code down here breaking off the head node would cause a problem at the first node because there is no previous node. So we do need to if node equals previous. I mean node.previous exists. Also, this is not a node, this is a head. So this is a head node. So we're looking at every single head here. Okay, one more thing is that we will be returning this array with all the head nodes. Okay, with that, we should be able to get our answers. Let's make sure that this works. So let's make a separate test. Of course, we want to make sure that these are functional first. And we really want to make sure that these work properly before we go on. So it is imperative that we make sure that all our code works before we move on to our next set of tests. So here's going to be our next set of tests. We're going to test if we're going to get k-pods. So what we're going to do, we're going to insert a, let's say, 1. And looks like we have a 1, 2, 3 here. What we want to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's link them together. So these are like different tasks, basically. Okay, so this is very important to make sure all our code works and that we can run each function. we test each function to make sure each step gets to where we want to go. So what if we insert our output of, let's say, 1, right, into our function, get k-pods, we're gonna return an array of the nodes 1, 4, and 7. So 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 1, 4, 7. Those are going to be our new head nodes. All right, let's check it out, see if it works. We did not run our function, did we? No, we did not. Let's run it. So our function is get k pods. And we're going to get 3 pods. Pods of 3. So let's run it. We have an issue. Let's see. So what's the problem? Syntax error. I think this is, we're missing a opening bracket. Test is not defined. Yeah, test is not defined. Okay, great. So we are able to test that the k-pods are working. And if we have a 1 item, that means we should have each of these are singles. And reversing in singles, we should have, like, they should return true. Oh, what's going on? I'm not sure. Oh, right. The difference what's going on here is that we have broken up each particular node, and that's why we can't do that. But our output should be like, yeah, we can't do that because of how the output works. What I mean by that is, because we have broken up every single like pod, it doesn't work. So we are, what if we comment out this line of code, it should work. Okay, what? Okay, let's try it again. Okay, it works again. So breaking off the head nodes, I think we do have to do that in after we get k-pods. So with that, I think we have the k-pod function working properly. And what we're doing now is we're going to break off the head of each pod so that it's not going to be a problem when we reach the end when we're using the reverse linked list function. Okay, so let's do the next step in reverse each list and create our array of head and tail nodes. So we can create a reverse array equals a equals an empty, and for each head in array, what we're going to do is send that reversed r dot append. We're going to reverse list of the head. So with that, we will have all the heads reversed, and we will get the tail and heads in our reversed array. So then for each node attached to the tail, we're going to attach the head to the tail. So for I in range of length reversed array minus 1. We're going to attach the head and tail equals the reversed array of I, and we're going to take the I plus 1 item, head next and tail next, I plus 1, and we're going to attach everything together. So tail.next is equal to head.next, head.next, head.prev is equal to tail. So that will create a connection between all the tail nodes. And with that, then for each, after we attached everything, that means we can return our reversed R at 0. And with that, we should return the right answer. So what's holding us back? Let's make some tests. So let's create our first test. And our first test should be like that very weird reverse K pods thing. So reverse K pods, is that our function? Reverse list by pod. Okay, reverse list by pod, and we're gonna have to reverse the reverse this time, because if we generate an output, it's gonna be really difficult for us to even like think about, because if we do, then we're going to just basically be doing a lot of work. But the problem with not hard coding our answers is that we may end up reversing, because the reversing just works. We might be reversing the wrong answer. So that's also a problem. Yeah. So problems everywhere. But let's run it. And we have an infinite loop. So do we reverse each list? I believe so. Let's print that out. So yes, let's check it out. Let's see, we have our reversed head and tail. Perfect. And so for each I, let's connect it together. So we have connected these items together. Looks like the connecting part is an issue because it never prints. So, so what happened was tail.next wasn't pointing to head.next, and head next was not pointing to tail. So it was the wrong code, and with that, we're able to print out our solution, where we print out the reverse of the array. It looks like you have 3, 2, 1, 6, 5, 4, 8, 7. And that's our 0th item. Something's wrong here. If we don't print this, okay, weird. Okay, hold on. Just give me a moment and let's figure this out. So let's stop this test here. Something's weird going on there. Okay. The test pass, reverse K-pods, I think right here. This print statement not run. Let's run that. Reverse K-pod. Okay, so we have the tail and the head for some reason. Okay, so what we need to do is return 0, 0, which is the head. Run. Perfect. And that's the expected answer. So yeah, it's not as ideal as I would like, but we're pushing on. So now we're able to run this, I think. False. So we were able to reverse it the first time. Then as we're reversing, I see that we have lost items along the way. So it got pretty messy, let's just say. Let's just okay, weird things are going on. This is false? How is that possible? This is... Oh, I know why. Because this has been reversed already. And we're reversing it again. So, yeah, this method of reversing it twice will not work because we're changing the way the reverse it looks in the first place. So, yeah. I have a solution. So the solution is that we will make sure they're equal by getting their next node instead. But it's not the best test because we have to test it in reverse as well. So, and that only works for the head node. And so there are problems with this test. So what we're gonna do is that we're just going to use the eye test, and that's the quickest way of getting us there. And by the eye test, we are doing it. Otherwise, we'll be here for a long time. And the problem is, yeah, after the reversal, what is going on? Oh, the one is not the head anymore, it's 3. Okay. Hey, it's not bad. I think that was pretty good, actually. We were able to find our item. Now, every time we run one of these tests, it mutates our so if we reverse by pod, so we take the 3, it should go back to 1, I think. Wow, it does work. Oh my gosh. So we reversed it twice, and we were able to get the links list to align properly, as you can see. So we turned it into this, then we turned it back. Oh my gosh. So it worked out very well. And let's see what happens if if we just did one item, and that should be equal to, output should be 1. That means no change. And if we did 8, that means we did a full reversal, and that means 8 will be our item. So this is 1, and we're going to do all 8 items, and this is going to be 8 because we start with our last node. Perfect! Oh my gosh! This is just wonderful. We have gotten all of this working properly. So of course we have to reverse the reverse to ensure that everything's working properly. So that is done. That is done. Okay, so all our tests are working. The one test that we have not tested is the -1 test, and that should return none. Of course, that's not what is going on right now because we haven't coded that in. So if k is less than 0, return none. Oh, that's not the right one. That's not where we put that. We should be putting this in here and reverse k-pods. So there we go. With that line of code, we should be able to immediately test for that and return none. Whoops, what's going on? And we're gonna run -1, and we're gonna have a none as our output. That should be passing the test, no problem. Great! All our tests are passing. We have solved the problem. That took much longer than I thought it would take. The code is much longer than ever expected. We have many more test cases than we ever expected, and we've done our review. We've done so many tests. Our last thing that we need to do at this point is to evaluate the function. So what's the evaluation? What's the O of n time? What's the time complexity? I believe it is O of n, because we're just going through every single node and doing a reversal, creating everything. And the space is O of k actually, because we are using an array to store all the head and tail nodes so that we can properly do this more easily. Maybe it's possible to do an O of 1 time, but you would have some pretty nice previous, how do you say, some dummy nodes laying around in your reverse pods. This code might be a lot longer if we were to do that. But because we just got k pods and we're breaking them into k items, we were able to do that. No matter what, you're gonna have to use k items because, well, not exactly, because, well, you could just like have we don't have to break it up into like arrays. What we did, we could instead just have a k, right? And let's start with a pod here. And we can, after we're done, we move the pod to our previous item here. And we move our previous item here. And that way, we move our previous item here to the 1, previous item to the 4, and previous item to the 7 to get this done. That is another way. We could bring down the space complexity to O of 1. I'm sure it's going to be a little bit more complex than what I have here, but we were able to do this code in O of k space. All right. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Want more videos, check the link in the description below. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video.